Time and relative dimensions in space. It is more than just a linear path. It is a bi-generational machine of infinite wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey, interdimensional possibilities, where one slight change can alter the course of the universe as you know it. I am Techie Voon, your guide to these new vast realities. So come with me now into the time vortex as we ponder the question, what if? What if Rose never left the Doctor? Before we get started with this episode, let me know which format you like most, whether it'll be the full story episodes, which I can actually do more character development and world building, like in the 11th Doctor getting stuck on present day Earth in a zombie apocalypse. Or on the other hand, more like this format where we hop and skip down the timeline with footage from the Prime BBC universe to help further illustrate events. If you haven't already seen the previous video, What If Zombies, then I'd recommend that you go and check it out. If not for the flippy floppy story, then do it for the format. And if you kindly would give me feedback on this, then I would appreciate it. Anyway, do all that normal YouTube stuff and let's get into the video. If by chance or decision, one slight change can cause a ripple that reverberates out throughout all time and space. In this Doomsday, Rose chooses to push the lever from the opposite side, in the Torchwood Tower. With the natural force of the void stuff vacuum, and her body pressing against the casing of the lever, she is able to disband being gulped down by the void. Pete Tyler appears briefly with open extended arms, but unfortunately not to the embrace of his daughter, disappearing again, traveling to another world without her. A sad moment of realization befell Rose. A bittersweet situation, understanding that she'll never see her family again. However, this is what she wanted. She wanted to stay with the Doctor. Fast forwarding to the events of Smith and Jones. As Martha checks the dual heartbeat of the Time Lord, she pulls a wonky face, Mr. Stoker being impatient about the holdup. In the background, a woman with blonde hair can be seen passing by in a blue carrier's uniform. Most events continue as normal, with the hospital being transported to the moon by upside down rain. The H2O Scoop and the Judoon, Space Police for Hire, show up to crash the party, looking for the fugitive, blood-assimilating Plasmavore, Miss Finnegan. The juxtaposition of the mundane and the otherworldly. I added that part in because it sounded cool. With Martha asking a few good questions about the oxygen and windows, considering it's not airtight, being curious about it himself, the Doctor invites Martha to stand in the Earthlight on the balcony. Advancing a little bit, a cosplaying Rose as Akira is looking for the Doctor as the Judoon start their search of the hospital. The Doctor checks the computers but quickly runs into issues as the Judoon nuke all the files by accidentally corrupting the system. My best guess is that they used Rhino Spy 4000 software. The Doctor: oh, that's clever, that's really clever. Rhino Spy 4000 is not compatible with 2nd gen Intel. Yeah, the Doctor would never say that, sorry for the bad joke. However, now with Rose showing up, he does explain to Martha that they only came to investigate the plasma cores. Martha comes up with the idea of finding Mr. Stoker, who may be able to give insight on paper records. So Martha and Rose go to try and find him, but when arriving at his office, they stumble across the assimilating old lady with a bendy straw in her hand. Mr. Stoker's pale skin, a clear indication that Florence Finnegan had just finished feeding on him. She yells, "Get them," causing the silent slab to rapidly give chase. They both run down the corridor of the hospital, but split up, Martha running one direction towards the Doctor, and Rose running towards the advancing platoon of Judoon on the moon, which I nearly just messed up saying, managing to sprint past them, narrowly avoiding crashing into them. The slab, on the other hand, wasn't so skillfully athletic, knocking into one with explosive force, an action the rhino-shaped officer didn't take kindly to.
Crime witnessed. Sentence execution.
They all open fire and melt the husk-like slab. They scan the body.
Non-human detected. It came from the upper floor.
Rose is sweating, thinking that the guns may have been turned on her, as she is scanned by one of the Rhino officers, and an X placed on her hand.
Next time, no running in the hallways.
Rose. Yeah, okay, I'll keep that in mind. Meanwhile, in order to stall the Judoon, the Doctor kisses Martha for a DNA transfer and makes his way to the X-ray ward to play dumb and find out what Miss Finnegan's plan is. Acting like a bumbling fool, the Doctor says that the Judoon are upping the scanners to setting 2. Hearing this, she gets out her straw. The Doctor has become her next meal, slurping down his neck fluid. Martha is stopped by one of the Rhino officers to be catalogued.
Traces of non-human contact on lips.
Rose. Wait, how did you get traces of non-human interaction on your lips? You didn't kiss the Doctor, did you? Martha blushing. No, he kissed me. Rose red-faced with fire in her eyes, looking like she's trying to hold back 1,000 chavs from looting. Is that so? Miss Finnegan, still in the process of draining the Doctor, is interrupted by the Judoon. The floaty flush drained Doctor looks at the Judoon. You know what I just noticed then? I can't believe I've never noticed this before, but you kind of look funny, you Judoon. Rhino head on a humanoid body. I don't think I said that right. I'm hungry. Is anyone else hungry? She's hungry. She's drank a lot of me. Anywho, you Martha and Rose, you're both brilliant people. You're looking well, by the way. Martha, she's killing him. Do something. Rose, look, she's the one you want. Humans don't do this. Martha, grabbing the scanner, points it at Miss Finnegan.
Non-human confirmed.
Another Judoon.
2 non-humans confirmed.
Knowing it's only a matter of time before she is charged for the murder of the child princess of Plasmavore Regency 9, which I'm pretty sure I just got wrong, or gets executed for hostile activity, Miss Finnegan orders the slab to attack, jumping behind the radiation shield and getting ready to set off the overloaded MRI, shouting if she has to die, they will burn with her too. A down but not out Doctor slides the sonic screwdriver over to Rose. She picks it up and he points towards the MRI machine. The Rhino officers open up on the slab as it comes towards them. This was the perfect distraction to deactivate the machine, because if they didn't, it would fry the brain stems of every living thing within 50,000 miles.
Attempting to use deadly weapon is a zero-tolerance crime. Sentence execution.
The platoon opened fire again, melting Miss Finnegan, after which the Doctor jumped back to his feet. Now then, just a few minutes of rest is exactly what the Doctor ordered, winking at Martha. Rose, not noticing the interaction, throws the sonic back to the Doctor. Now speaking in the native Judoon tongue, do you mind telling me why you've trapped all these people on the moon using an H2O scoop in space that you have no jurisdiction over? I bet I'm right in saying that the Shadow Proclamation doesn't know about this misadventure. If you want it to stay that way, I recommend returning the hospital back to Earth, telling them off and waving the psychic paper in front of their face. The contact information of the Shadow Proclamation is shown.
All troops, move out.
The Judoon now going back to their ships. The air starts to get a little bit thin. They blast off, and once again it starts to rain on the moon. Our 3 heroes start to laugh as the ground shakes. They return back the hospital to its rightful place in London. Later that day, Martha's family is having a disagreement on the streets. Martha notices the Doctor and Rose stand in an alleyway. She follows them down it, leading to the TARDIS. Time and relative dimensions in space. The Doctor explains his ship's abilities, being able to move both in space and time. The Doctor proves it by the tie trick, while Rose waits with Martha. As the TARDIS reappears, Rose says, "So we've been talking." Now poking his head out the rematerialized TARDIS, the Doctor adds, "And because you did help us out today, we would like to extend the invitation for a trip on the TARDIS. To say thank you." He opens the doors to the TARDIS, revealing the interior. Martha peeks around, absolutely blown away by the dimensions inside. Martha, "Of course I want to." Now with all 3 of them aboard the TARDIS, it flies through the time vortex, with the TARDIS bumping, shaking, and vibrating violently, while the Doctor, Martha, and Rose shake hands over the console. The Doctor, "Welcome aboard, Miss Jones," to which she replies, "My pleasure, Mr. Smith." Rose, "In that case, you can call me Mrs. Smith," which might have been a seed of jealousy erupting over the new companion. However, that is a tale for another time, when we continue with this world line in the future. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Check out some of my other stuff here on this channel. And with that said, I'm going to start making the next Tooniverse adventure.